A lot of momentum swings. Pretty good goaltending at both ends. And, two teams that seemed like they desperately wanted to get 2 points. So it's an interesting evening. Obviously, falling behind by 2. It was a positive from our standpoint that we were able to climb back into it and get the point. Certainly, you come into the game with the idea that you want to get 2 points, but given the way the first period played out, I thought our guys did a good job of climbing back into it.
Talk about Tegley. It was sort of a little bit of an unknown how a guy's going to react in his first collegiate start in a big road venue here. Talk about how he played and how what you expected of him tonight.
Well, I think he didn't start last week, and you're right, this was his first time. But we threw him into the Minnesota game the second night, and about 5 minutes into the game, and I don't know exactly the time, but it was early in the game, and I think they were on a 5-on-3 when you get thrown in there. So it was, like, here you go, kid. You said you want to play Division I hockey. We're at Mariucci, there's 10,000 people there, and they're firing away. So, but that really helped him out. That experience. He played, once he got through that first period, gave us some goals. He played pretty well the second and third period. So he's a battler. He's not your conventional stylist, but he finds a way to compete and stop pucks. And there's been a lot of goalies that don't always look pretty, but it's not pucks. So we're hoping that that's the case with Jeff.
Like early in the second period, you guys, I think you had like the first 8 or 9 shots in the second period, and then you guys went on a run where you had like the next 12 to 13 or something in the game. Can you talk about what sort of shifted after I think you guys got a couple power plays in a row and then sort of rolled through the rest of the game, finally got those goals?
I think the kids just stayed with it. And, the game was full of momentum shifts, even in the overtime. So I think there's a pretty good mentality with a lot of young kids that don't know any better. But keep working. Hopefully they don't get too old. They get wiser, but they don't get too old too fast. And they can have as much fun playing as they seem to be having now. We've yet to play with a lead. We haven't had a lead this year. And we've, I think, 5 or 6 times come back from 2 goals down. And so it's an interesting group right now. It'd be nice if they could get a lead and see what they can do with it.
Happiest people in the building walking out that I saw were the Pereira family.
Yeah, no doubt.
A jersey split with UMass and BU.
Yeah, it's a fact. They're a great family, and Joe's had a great career here, and will continue to have a great career. My goal is to be the real deal for us, and they're fabulous people. So it's nice to see them enjoy it. I'm just happy we've got our guy for three more years after this year. And I'll be happy to see Joe in the players' lounge. Next year.
Can you talk a little bit about Tegley? Looks like he's pretty exciting all the time too. Like to come out a little bit. Did that give a little bit of stomach turning?
I think more than anything else, he's a real battler. I think he's got, he's not afraid to compete. He's not sitting there, with too much. He's excited. He's anticipating plays, and he's putting himself in a position to try to make a difference in the game. Some guys let it come to them, and I don't think Jeff's that type of kid. I think he gets after it in a big way. So we'll see. That's one game, and he's got a long ways to go. He knows it.
On that last breakaway that you had right before the end of overtime, the penalty was called. Do you ever, when the play was happening, think there might have been a penalty shot there? Is that ever something?
No, in fact, I was so happy the kid shot wide that I wasn't even aware there was a penalty. I was just wondering, oh boy, I think I buried my head when I saw the puck in the back. So no, I just obviously gave them a pretty good advantage. Did a decent job on the face-off, and I think they won it on a second chance, like a second effort. So it was a draw, or you want your guy to get at least a draw, and they come up to a loose spot, and then they got shot. I think Woloski had a one-timer, if I'm not mistaken, and that was a little bit wide. So we escaped there for sure.
Coach, you guys used a very aggressive forecheck at times this game to create a lot of turnovers and really shift the momentum a little bit. Is there something you saw on film on VU this week, or do you guys just want to get after it?
No, I think one of the things that, unlike a lot of the teams in our league, I think we skate really well, and I want these guys to be uninhibited a little bit. I don't want us to play in our heels. I think if we play in our heels, the youthful show. We just, when they're swinging, we've got a bit, and with some order, obviously, and some sense of ice balance, understanding situations, but we want to be able to play up on our toes, and I think that's probably what that's all about, more maintenance.
But Cahoon seemed to have a real good game. He had a couple of steals and rebounds, did the rebound goal. We talk about his senior leadership.
Well, he's a competitive kid, physically a very strong kid. Comes by that naturally. His dad's a good sized guy. Mark works real hard, and he competes at every turn. Maybe one of our more physical guys as well. So it's nice to see him chip in with a goal. Most of the time he's blocking a shot or finishing a check. He hasn't been a big goal scorer for us, but maybe this year puck will bounce for him.